Hello everyone, welcome to Cramit TV. It's my first time, so don't be too rough with me. I'd like to give a shout out here to Randomier, who's serenading us in the game I'm going to talk with you about today, Project Gorgon. Okay, but moving on here, this is, as I was saying, Project Gorgon. It's a indie MMO that's in development right now by Eric Heimburg. It is a big, huge sandbox MMORPG. One where there is no level system, where you have a single level. It's not vertical progression anyway, it is completely horizontal progression. You have 9 combat skills, 11 non-combat skills, and then a huge crafting system all in this open sandbox world. Right now I'm standing in the main town, the first town that you come into after going through the tutorial area, which I didn't really want to showcase because, well, you gotta explore. In this game, that is the name of the game, exploration. In Project Gorgon, one of the big things you're going to be working with a lot is NPCs. Because it's a large sandbox and is completely open and does not push you in any one direction, typically what you find yourself doing is worrying about NPC reputation. That's right, NPC rep. So you can go up to just about any NPC and click on the little talk button. This will open up the NPC interface. From here, this is where you're going to be finding any of the quests and shops and storage locations all through here. First section you're going to come to is the talk section, which you can talk with the person, and through that they may give you special favor quests or different skills, unlocking certain things for you, so always worthwhile to go through the actual different types of text that they have here. You have the do favor section, which is where you'll find actual quests. The quests is specific to that merchant that gives it to you, and completing it will raise your experience towards their favor. The higher favor levels you get with an NPC, the more you can do with them. Sometimes the shop and other sections here will need to be unlocked by upping your favor level with that NPC before you can use them. On this particular one, as we can see, I don't have any more quests. I've done all of the ones for him, so this isn't a route for me to level up this NPC's favor any longer. You have the shop section, which is kind of straightforward. Just take note of the buy used and consignment tabs. These are where the player sold items to this NPC where you can purchase them. The consignments tab is actually where, after getting a high enough favor, you can basically put your own items up for a specific price, and the merchant will attempt to sell them for you and take a portion of it. Again, this is a high favor option, so you'll have to level pretty high with an NPC to be able to get to do that, and only certain ones can do it. You have the give gifts section, which will literally allow you to give different items to the NPC, again to raise your favor level. You do want to take a look at all the different types of talking and texting that you have with the NPC to find out what they like and dislike. The next section, which is small talk, will actually give you pretty much an exact listing of that. The NPC's likes, dislikes, and things that they love, and depending on what you give them will either up your favor or do nothing. Hangout is an offline mode that you can set up with an NPC where character will hang out with them while you're offline for a certain amount of time. If you do it for the entire time, you will get a reward of favor and sometimes other items. However, if you log out before the end of that time, then the timer will reset, and the next time you log off, you'll start from the beginning. Some NPCs are trainers, and you'll be able to go to the training tab here and be able to purchase your different items. But when you're not working on different things for your character or for the crafting skills or combat skills, you'll most likely be working with the NPCs to up your favor level, so that you again get more money for the things that you sell to that person, as well as be able to do some of the other options such as use them as storage and things like that. So let's take a look at combat. When you're in range of something, you'll always know because you'll be able to see this gray line underneath the target, and from there you'll actually be able to select them. Anytime that you don't see that bar underneath the target, let's say for instance like this rat over here, I can't select it whatsoever, but because I'm within range of the tiger and I see that bar, I can select it. So the HUD to go over with. You have your defense or armor for the tiger, you have its health, and the fist is its rage. The more it attacks, the more rage it gets, and then certain abilities can use rage to up their damage. For me, we have the armor, my armor rating, combination of all the armor I get from my gear, my health, hit points straightforward, and then my power, which is basically, this is the resource that you will use while you use your abilities. Any of your abilities will use this particular resource in combat. Good tip to know is that also if you engage something and are in combat and you run, you will then also take from your power. When you're outside of combat, you can run, and I'm not using any of my power, but when in combat, the sprint will use it. Okay. So let's run back up here. And let's see how we do on this tiger. As before, you can have 2 active combat abilities, as you can see down here at the bottom. I have sword and I have bows at the moment, so that's what we're going to use. Also, another skill in the game is anatomy, which you get from an autopsy kit that you can use and do autopsies on animals, which I'll show a little bit after the fight. But if you get your anatomy up with a particular type of monster, you'll actually get this little window down here at the bottom, which will actually give me the monster's information rather than just being icons. So here I actually have number values, but these won't go down during combat. It's just straight gives me the values. I'll still have to monitor the actual icons during battle to see where his hit points and armor and rage are all at. Alright, let's do some fighting here. As you can see, there is social mobs in this game, which I might have just bought off more than I can chew. Many times, like you just saw, they will run off. So there's no reason to get too scared at time. Got the one, let's kill the other. As you can see, using an ability will lock it on, so if for some reason I'm, it's coming from a different direction or something along those lines, I can still hit the ability and it will turn to face in to fire. Wonderful! And I just leveled up my endurance. So as you can see, the skills are what gets leveled in this game. You don't have an overall level, you just have skills. And the more you use that skill, the more it will gain XP and the more it will level. And then this is your looting, search corpse. So it looks like we got a clownfish. Wonderful, take all, and then again, as I said before, I have that autopsy kit, which allows me to use the autopsy, and that ups my pathology. Gives me XP towards my pathology, which will then increase my anatomy levels, making me learn more about each monster that I do that to. And as you can see, you botch the autopsies all the time, so it can get somewhat frustrating at times. If you did notice during that fight, I did use some of my non-combat abilities over here on my left bar. This is the shift 1 through 6. And these are typically just abilities that you get from different skills that are non-combat or just some form of utility. So this game is in the middle of a Kickstarter. It's supposed to end on September 27th. So definitely I highly suggest anyone who likes old school MMOs, particularly Open World Sandbox games, to really give this game a try. You can go to their website, projectgorgon.com, and click on the Play Now section and download the installer and start downloading and then play. You can set up what's called a guest account, which is what you automatically sign in, and then later on you can decide whether or not you want to actually register an account, which is done right in game and just saves your characters to a particular email. As you can see, using the Unity engine, even now the game really isn't terrible graphics wise. I find it quite enjoyable and easy to play. I'm not huge of a graphics connoisseur to the point that I need the best graphics out there, but I mean, as you look around, it's still a decent looking game. Not to mention some of the different things they have going on. For instance, what's the deal with the hands? I'm going to leave you there for now, for today. I'll be continuing to do a couple more series on Project Gorgon and some of the other systems in the game. Definitely take a look down into the description, see website for the Kickstarter and for Project Gorgon's main website. If you like the old style games, much like Asheron's Call, which Eric Heimburg, the developer of Project Gorgon, was a part of AC 1 and 2, definitely look at donating to the Kickstarter. They could definitely use it, and we could definitely use this type of game in the industry. So this is Cramit signing off on Cramit TV. Thanks again for watching, guys, and hope to see you around soon. I'll leave you with a little music. Have a good one.